maybe when you first saw the name of this video or file, you're going, what is a no formula data update? Well, I mean, no formula. I mean, I use no formula, and I'm able to update things. You know, that's kind of interesting. So here's our situation. We have our sales for maybe last year for the first 6 months, and we're trying to maybe project, for instance, what maybe 15% added to each of those numbers would be. So maybe we're kind of projecting what we're maybe hoping that next year we'll get. Maybe we're creating some sort of an incentive program with our sales reps, and we're telling them if they can exceed what they did last year by 15% in each of their monthly categories there, then we'll give them, you know, some sort of a bonus or whatever it is. All right. So what we like to do is initially take each of these numbers, these original numbers that we have here, this whole range right here, and add 15% to it. Now, right on the surface, you say, so, well, wait a minute, that'll be kind of difficult because these are actually just numbers. I mean, so that would mean that I'd have to go to each one of those cells and figure out what 15% more was, and then plug in that new number. We don't want to have to do that. Now, before I go any further with this, an alternative to what I'm about to show you would involve making a duplicate of this, all right? And within that duplicate, do the increase. So that way you've got like a before and you've got an after down here, okay? Now the way you would do this, probably the easiest way, would be to select what you have here, all right? We would right-click it, hit copy, and then maybe go down to here, okay? Right-click it, maybe go up one here, let's go one more here. Go right here, right-click it, and then we would just do just a standard, you know, paste. There it goes. So that's what we would do. First part, right? And then the next thing would be, we would go to this cell right here, all right? And, oh, so by the way, we're doing a formula here, okay? We haven't done formulas yet. This will be your indoctrination to doing your first formula. But I'm just kind of showing this to you. I want to contrast this with the thing I wanted to show you originally, okay? But so what you do here is you say, okay, what do I want Chip's January new number to be for next year, you know, to propose in our incentive plan, right? So we would say equal, right? And I would take the original number that we had here, right? And I'd say times, or put the asterisk in there, and then I would type in 1.15. Now the reason why I'm doing 1.15 is if I just did 0.15, I would just get the 15% amount here. I want to get that 15% amount plus the original, right? Because we just want to increase it by 15%, right? So you do that, hit the enter key, and then we can go ahead and copy this across like that. And then we can also then, while we got all that selected, bottom right hand corner, copy that down, all right? So now that shows that last year Chip did 10,000. If you can do 11.5 this year in January, then we'll give them whatever, all right? And the same with everybody else. So kind of interesting, but that, I mean, that's pretty easy to do, not a big deal. Now the other way of doing it is this. We're going to use a tool or a technique that will actually increase each of these numbers in place by 15%, all right, without the use of a formula like we did before, and having to have another worksheet or another, you know, set of numbers. So here's the technique. Here's what you do. You go over to a cell outside of here, all right, and just click onto it. And you say to yourself, well, what we just got done doing, I'd gone down to here and I said I'm going to take that number and multiply by 1.15. So you say to yourself, okay, I ultimately want to increase these all by 15%. So I'm going to go to here and I'm going to type in 1.15, just like that. Enter it in. Now, what happens is I typed in 1.15. Because the cell has been formatted to have no decimal places, it might look like just a 1, but technically inside the cell it's really 1.15. So we're okay there, okay? So that's the first step, all right? The second step is to go back to that cell, do a right click on it, and hit copy. All right, you'll get your little ants, your little automigas here running around, right? And what we're going to do then is we're going to select the area that we ultimately want to multiply this against, okay? So we type that in, right-click copy, we go over here and select that. Now our next set of steps are we're going to do a right-click anywhere in this area. We're going to go down to where it says Paste Special, but more specifically, when we're going to click on to Paste Special, okay? We're not going to do this one here, all right? We're going to do Paste Special, okay, right there. So you click that, and you get a little window that pops up, okay? And what we want to do is go into the operation area and tell it that what? I want to take this 1.15 and multiply it. See, so multiply it against this area. See? We do that. You hit OK. And voila. Not bad, huh? It's pretty neat stuff there. That's about it. That's about as easy as it gets. Now, I'll do this one more time just so that you get it down here. So let's just say those were the original numbers. Okay, now, I want to increase each one of them by 35,000. Okay, increase each of them by 35,000 for whatever reason, right? So I go back to here, 35,000. Okay. Now I go back to it, right click it, hit copy, select that area, and then what? Do you remember? Okay. I do. Do you? All right. Right click. Then what? Paste Especial, right? So we'll click onto that. And we're going to do what? We want to add this to all these numbers, right? So we're going to go with Operation Add, see? And then hit OK. And there we go. So pretty simple little technique there. And hopefully you can use this. I remember it was probably about maybe 35 years ago or something. I don't know what it was, but it was way back. And I was over a company. I was walking past an office and of one of my students, and I happened just to, he had said hi, and I just kind of walked in there, and I noticed on his screen he was doing something, and I said, "What are you trying to do?" And he said, "I got this huge price list." I mean, it was just many columns of stuff all over the place, and he said, I've got to update all these. I got to do this column by 15%. I got to update this column by 22%. I got to knock this off by 5%. It was just, I mean, he probably had 20 different things he needed to do with this. And I had caught him right when he was like looking at it, just almost feeling overwhelmed. And I showed him how to do this on his first, set of columns. And he was going, my God, so that's great. I said, the only thing is that you're losing the originals. He said, oh no, I don't care about that. But what we did was he ended up running through all those on his own, and then what he said he was going to do is he was just going to save that as another file, and that way he still would have the original and now the updated version, just in case there was some problems. So Once again, I mean, it's just for him, it just saved him, I don't know, probably hours of work. Well, anyway, so hopefully this helps all of you in what you're doing from time to time, and I appreciate it. Hope you like the video.